This is video 5 of the Cadet Training Plan Template Instructional series. In this video, we will be demonstrating how to complete the Supported Training Days Scheduler. To get to the Supported Training Days Scheduler, you have to go into the Activities module from the main menu by clicking on the Activities button. That brings you into the Activities menu. The default tab is Optional Activities and Events. We want to go to the next tab over, Supported Training Days and Weekends. There are 10 supported training days in total. In the PO Wizard, you defined 4 training periods days, plus you made your complementary training choice of 2 days for a total of 6 days in the PO Wizards. And then there's another 4 mandatory days already waiting for you here in the Supported Training Days Scheduler. Again, 10 days in total. As you can see, we have the step-by-step tab instructions right here, along with 2 toggle buttons. We can toggle between those tab instructions and a list of your supported training days for each level or phase. These are the days that you need to schedule. We've either defined them in the PO Wizard or they were already waiting here in the supported training days scheduler. In either case, we have not yet scheduled when they're going to take place. As you can see, there's already an activity scheduled. This is an air unit, and so their gliding activity comes pre-scheduled. And this is based on dates provided by the Regional Cadet Support Unit. For the other 2 elements, Army, they're going to have their expedition centers pre-scheduled in here. And also for the Sea, any sailing activities will be pre-scheduled in here as well. For these pre-scheduled activities, the only thing that you can do with them is to change the date, and you do that by clicking on the date field, and you can select another date. Sometimes these activities do get rescheduled. If you change the date and you decide, oh, that was an error, I'm going to be on my original date after all, you simply click up here to the reset button for resetting it to the pre-assigned date. And it's just giving me a reminder that I can't put any other activities onto my pre-assigned activity date here. So in order to then go and schedule your other activities, you simply click in the next available line. So I'm going to begin by first scheduling a training periods day, in this case my fall sports day. So I create my activity name, and then I come over to the training type drop down, and I click on the drop down and I choose whether it's going to be a day or a weekend activity, in this case a day activity. And then I select the date for this activity, and that's going to be on October 6th. And from here I'm going to use these drop down boxes for each level to indicate what levels are participating in this activity, and I choose the supported training day for that activity that applies to this activity, in this case fall sports, for my fall sports day. And I just continue choosing all the levels or phases that apply to this activity. Once I've got that done, I can go on to the next activity. In this case, it's going to be a weekend activity. It's going to be the field exercise. So I type in the name, I choose whether it's a day or a weekend activity, and then I select the dates. Notice the difference in the calendars. I'm going to select first the start date on a Friday, and if you notice, it defaults for a normal weekend activity setup, the 2 days plus the start date, to the Sunday, and it does that for me. At this point I could just hit return. If I had an activity that was going to be longer, I could simply select the end date that I need. In this case, I will go with the defaulted date on the Sunday as per a normal weekend exercise. From there, I'm going to again choose what levels are participating in this activity. You'll notice based on a day or weekend activity type, the list filters and displays only the choices that apply to either the day or the weekend activity. So for these guys, all we have is the mandatory field exercise, and they are all going to go together. So I've selected them, and then I continue on until all of my supported training days are scheduled. In this case, all I have are day activities left, and you notice for the ones that I've scheduled, they have all come off the list as I've scheduled them for each level or phase. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera and complete filling this out, and we'll come back when that's done. And we're back with all of our supported training days scheduled, and you can see my big long list down here. And just as importantly, we can see that these lists up here are completely empty, and that lets you know that you have all of your supported training days scheduled. Just a little bit left on this screen to take a look at this EOs button. To forget what content that you have assigned, like for example this air training day, I might not be sure what content that I've assigned to that, so I can click on this EOs button, and down here on the right hand side it's showing me all of the content that I've pre-assigned to this activity for all the training levels and phases. You notice up here on the top left that for training periods day, the only content that you can attach as EOs to a training periods day is self-study packages or other content for year 5 cadet. And we'll talk about that more when we talk about the year 5 cadet level in the instructional video for that level. If we were looking at a weekend activity such as this weekend exercise here, just to click on the EOs button for that, again we see all of the pre-assigned content here that we can scroll through for all the training levels and phases. And we see here some different options then for attaching any additional content. Click on the drop down button, you've got your training levels and phases. Click on the desired level or phase, and you can look at a particular PO. One thing that you should be doing is making sure that any EOs that you do attach to a weekend exercise are within reason in terms of the number or quantity. So in this case, I've found a particular EO for year 1, recite the phonetic alphabet, that kind of seems to go well with my field activity. So in order to attach that, I just double click here. It populates onto the list of the right hand side here of EOs that have been attached to this exercise. I can then go on to any other training level or phase and look at any other POs that might be applicable for content that I would want to attach. Once you're done, just hit the close form. And the other button left on this screen, activity details, is a button that we will cover this in detail, explain this in detail on our next instructional video. We will continue this instructional segment in our next video.